One. Hello, my name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is Jill Hunter. She's a leadership coach who is helping professionals to be better understood as a manager by speaking to be heard. I'm extremely excited to be able to share her story with you today. Thank you so much for coming on, Jill.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here.
And for those watching, I just wanted to personally invite you, if you have not already, to come and join our free community. It's basically a mastermind. People come together and support each other every single day. So if that's what you've been lacking in your life, I would just want to invite you to it. I'm going to put some links either above or below the video. Now, Jill, back to you. What was life like before you got into coaching, and what was the catalyst that brought you into the field?
So I spent a lot of my career working as a pharmacist, and in the healthcare industry, as time went by, managers were more concerned with numbers and how many prescriptions a pharmacist could fill, how many prescriptions a technician could fill during their shift. And they were trying to manage the workload, which is a great way to start managing the business, considering when I first started, it was just, first come, first served. Yeah. And then you started really managing. So that was great. But what it ended up doing was managers would really focus on, okay, well, you're not producing enough, so I need you to get your numbers up. And they weren't looking at what the individual was doing beyond just filling prescriptions. And that started to alienate the workforce. And I can remember meetings where I'd have a director of pharmacy call 50 of us into a room and say, okay, we're falling behind. We're not getting all the prescriptions out when they need to get out. I need you to work harder. We all looked at each other like, what? What do you mean work harder? Of course we're working hard. We want to get everything done by the end of the day, but we just can't do it. And that's when I started to realize that maybe there's a better way of managing people. Because after those meetings, I would literally have people crying on my shoulder. And they would say, I can't do this, Jill. I really can't do this. If you want me to fill a prescription accurately and make sure I don't kill a patient, I want to make sure that it's right, and it's going to take me time, and I can't speed it up, or I'm going to make a mistake and I can't live with those consequences. So these were not, small little things that people were dealing with. And when I left there, I got the opportunity to be a director of pharmacy myself. And I decided that I wasn't going to do it the way that others had done it. I was going to do it my way. Mm-hmm. That was lead with empathy. And when you lead with empathy and really talk to and get to know the people on your staff, they start to respect you. They start to trust you. And you get this relationship going where when you're having a bad day and you need to do extra work and pull from within, like those extra stores of energy from within, if you have that connection with the employee, they'll do it. And the work just magically gets done. I never had trouble hitting my numbers when I was a director because my staff believed in me and I believed in them just as much. So that's where I got the idea for leading with empathy and my current business. So when that job came to an end, I said, do I want to go into another organization and take a small department and make their lives better? Or do I want to go out and try and help hundreds of other people do the right thing and lead with empathy and connect with their people and make it a better place to work every day? And I decided to do that, not to, make money for myself. Of course, I'm going to charge money for my services now, but it's not that. It's really to help others is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
And, what can you talk about? What are the main problems that these leaders are going through, and why sometimes they come across as too robotic?
So the main things they're suffering from is their productivity is down, and they're not sure why. 3 months ago, they were able to get everything done, and now they're not able to get everything done. They have high turnover compared to other companies within the same industries, and they're not sure why their turnover is high. Because they look back at each individual person. Well, I know this person left because they were going to get 50 cents more at that other job down the street. And this person left because they were moving out of town. And they have excuses for all of the turnover that happens. And the other thing is their employee engagement is down, but they didn't know that it could actually be higher. So the one thing that will come out is employee satisfaction. So if they do any of those, HR does an employee survey and rates the satisfaction on the employees, the satisfaction numbers are going to be average. They're definitely not going to be above average.
Yeah.
They could even be below average. And those are the things that leaders in charge of organizations that are managing by numbers, if you will, should be looking for. If they find that they've got low productivity, high turnover, and low employee engagement, then I can help them. I can fix those things for them. They have to be willing to be open and honest with their employees to gain that trust. But if they do that, it's going to work. I have proof of that.
And, just a different kind of question than what we've been talking about. What's been one of the biggest takeaways from this slowdown time? I don't know if it's exactly slow for you, but what's one of the things you've taken away?
So one of the things that I've taken away from the whole COVID situation is that right now you're watching true leaders get challenged and rise to the occasion. And those who aren't doing a good job leading their troops are actually struggling. And they're saying, if they've got remote workforces now where they never did in the past, they're saying, you know what, I don't know if so-and-so's working, or I can't tell. And you know what? That's a question that the leader needs to ask themselves. Why can't you tell? Were you one that actually liked to stand over them as they did their work? Were you asking too many questions throughout the day? When are you going to have this done? How are you going to do this? Do you have that report done yet? Those are signs that you might be micromanaging people. And so you need to look at yourself and step back and say, okay, how can I better serve my workforce? And that's really understand what's going on in their life. Are they trying to homeschool children or take care of children now that school's out in a lot of situations, but daycares still aren't open? And so are they trying to manage work and be a parent at the same time? And I'm not saying that's an excuse for not getting their work done if they're working remotely. But what I want you to do is use empathy and try and put yourself in their shoes. Mm-hmm. They are not showing up for work each day because they don't want to do a good job. They want to do a good job. They don't want to lose their job. They feel guilty for every minute that they spend with their child and not doing work. But you know what they are doing? Is they're learning how to become super productive when the kids are busy. And they are learning how to really power through a bunch of work much more effectively than they probably did in the office. So why don't you talk to them and see what you can learn from them and open a dialogue of what's really going on. Mm. It's probably just your impression that productivity is down, because actually what I've noticed is productivity is actually up for a lot of companies.
Right. That's really great. I'm glad that you're there to point that out to people, right? Because everybody's I think it takes a really good leader to be able to see the good in everything. So that's why I'm glad that, you're helping them out. What is vision? Just talking about vision, what does the vision look like for as far into your life as you'd like to think or talk about?
So I'd like to look, the next 10 years, and my vision is that I have worked with 1,000 companies, and every one of those companies is now a place where everyone wants to come to work each day. So I may have only worked with one employee at a company, but if they have 10 people reporting to them, it spreads similar to the COVID virus. So now everyone understands transmission and how ideas like a virus spreads. Well, I'd like to be the next virus. So I'd like to have people learn how to be coming to work in a healthy environment where they're appreciated and valued and do a great job every day. And then when one of those people leaves this company and moves to another company, they take the ideas that they learned from me with them to the next company. And then a little pocket of my type of management, my care leadership style, starts to grow in that next company. And I'd like to see it start spreading around to not just 1,000 companies I directly worked with, but to say 2,000, so that one person out of each group left and brought some of the ideas with them. And now there's 2,000 companies with a great place to work each day. That's what I'd love to have in the future.
Yes. Just think about, the word success. I think for a lot of people, success means something different. So what does success mean to you?
So success for me is something very small, actually. It's when I'm working one-on-one with someone and I see a light bulb go off and they go, oh my gosh, I get it. Or they don't even have to say anything. You just see their shoulders lift up. They've got the surprised look on their face and they start smiling. And then you know that you made a difference because you got through and you made them realize something they didn't know before. And their life has changed for it. And those are the moments that I call success. So I'm not looking for any big thing. It's just the little moments that make life a little bit better.
Nice. Are you working on anything new? Any projects, programs, conferences, anything new coming out?
So I just started a Facebook group where I'd like-minded people to come together and be able to support each other. They run into a problem during the day, then be able to chat with other people who have the same point of view. So if anyone wants to join me on Facebook, it's Lead with Empathy, not numbers. So that's my Facebook group. I intend to start going live in it, and I'll be in there answering questions and giving free, coaching and content out to people in that group.
Sure.
I will be speaking at a couple of conferences later this summer. So I'm going to be, as soon as I get links to their websites, I'll be putting that on my website to be able to see where I'm speaking later this summer.
Nice. That should be exciting. Where do people go? Well, you gave the links to the group. Where can people go to either learn more about you, or where can they go to connect with you further?
So you can find me on my website is uplevel2lead.com. And on LinkedIn, I'm Jill Hunter with the middle initial C. There's a lot of Jill Hunters out there, so you can search Up Level to Lead and then find me that way. And so then you can get me that way. Those are the places where I hang out the most, and then that Facebook group.
Yes. And, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate the insights you provided and, just sharing your story.
So I appreciate you taking the time to get to know me a little bit better. So thank you.
And, for those watching, we thoroughly hope that you found this conversation valuable. Now, again, if you want some place to join where people are uplifting each other and supporting each other every single day, come and join us inside of this free community. I'm going to put some links either above or below the video. Now, hopefully you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed creating it. Feel free to hit that share button so other people can get some great value as well. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. We're done recording in 3, and 2, and